Hey, this is Matt. Once again, we're back to another video, and this is a paid request for Walter. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it directly to my PayPal. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box. I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. For those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate your kindness and your patience, so thank you. I know Walter sent in a couple of them, and one of them is his topic, which at first he wants me to read what he feels, and then also I guess then get into how I feel about this. This is what he wrote, and he says, read all the words on camera if you don't mind. Well, I didn't. You send in the pay request, you tell me, I can do that. So this is what he wrote. Walker. Topic, Companion 2025, in his words, is better than The Substance 2024. Compare the two movies. He says, The Substance is a mixed bad movie, great performances and themes and crazy scenes, but there's not enough fun to make up for how depressing and isolating it is. Dennis Quaid was fun. Companion I highly enjoyed. It's possibly in my top 140 favorite films ever made. And there's a version that could have been even better. But I could say that for a lot of great movies, I would even say Companion's better than The Fly by David Cronenberg. Now, first off, I don't think I like Companion. I do not think it's better than The Fly, and I do not think it's better than The Substance. So right off the bat, that's fine if you feel that way, Walker. I highly disagree. Now, I did enjoy Companion. I reviewed that. I liked it for what it was. I thought Sophie Thatcher did a good job as the lead. I thought the twists were interesting. Has a decent sense of humor to it. Is it a film I rewatch over and over again? Probably not, but I liked it for what it was. Jack Quaid did fine as you come to find out kind of the sniveling dweeb of a villain. But The Substance to me is on another level. Because while I do like the performances in Companion, I thought Demi Moore, who I absolutely love, gave an Oscar-worthy performance, and she should have won the Oscar. She should have. And if you want to know my in-depth thoughts on these films, I did review Companion and The Substance. They're both on the channel. Like, Demi Moore deserved an Oscar. While Sophie did a good job in Companion, Demi Moore just had a lot more to work with as an actress, as a character. Her being pushed out of the spotlight, her wanting to still be a part of the end crowd, to not let that fame go, the desperation, the heartbreak, the trying this new drug, and then the horror, well, at first comes off very nice. This younger version of herself comes out, is able to do this and that, and then she's still able to earn the winnings of that, earn the money, all that jazz, kind of live vicariously through it. Has a nice sense of identity and who am I really? You are the same person, yet you're different individuals, but yet you are the same. It's just a lot more food for thought, theme-wise, food for thought, idea-wise. And I thought the other girl in The Substance did a good job as well. What was it? Margaret Qualley. I thought she did fine, and she did her job well. Dennis Quaid was a lot of fun. I agree. And that's the thing, like, if you're comparing Jack Quaid to Dennis Quaid, so yeah, maybe that's fine. That's why these two came up, because the Quaids. As much as I don't mind Jack Quaid, he's not his dad. If you asked me to compare the two, Dennis Quaid, for me, gave more of an impression, more of a stronger personality as really the villain, or one of the villains. And while Jack Quaid technically had more to do, Dennis Quaid, when he was in it, he made it worth it. You could call it over the top, but man, it was fun. So if you asked me which performance I like more, I would give to Dennis more to Jack. Not minding Jack's performance, but Dennis I liked more. Again, Sophie Thatcher I thought did a good job, but Demi Moore, like I said, one of her career best performances. She should have won the fucking Oscar. Number 252 of the reasons why the Oscars suck. How Demi Moore didn't win, I don't get it. Now you compare with the story, I mean the stories are fairly different. You just say it's still two different types of identity, but very different ways. One is a body horror film, one is, well, spoilers, companion. One is, you find out the girl's a robot, find out the girl's an android. And while you say both films you've seen done in other stuff, body horror you've seen in The Fly, you mentioned David Cronenberg's The Fly, companion, there's films like Ex Machina, and there's one called The Machine and other stuff where, and there's been other movies we've seen where, oh my god, I'm a robot, they find out later that they're a robot, android, however you want to put it. I do think the substance, the way it was handled was more unique compared with the with Companion. The whole idea of taking the pill and literally this other version ripping out of you, and you see the scars and having to sew the body up, and also just the way it's directed. Like, Companion was directed fine, but the substance, the editing, the shots, the camera work, there's certain shots this director who did Revenge, very good underrated French film, just brought much more of a life, much more of an energy, much more of a vivid reaction to the viewer compared to Companion. So I'm thinking The Substance is a better directed movie. Not to say Companion is badly directed, but Substance is better directed. More dealing with lighting, camera work, visuals. I think The Substance may be longer, but it felt a bit of a faster pace because of that energy. And while both have stories that I was interested in, The Substance I was even more intrigued as to where it was going to go. I think it goes into more crazy directions than Companion does, especially the third act. And, I mean, that third act and The Substance alone, where you just see the amalgamation, the creature, the practical effects, the insane blood and gore, blood flying everywhere, paint the walls red type of shit, was so insane, was something you don't see a whole lot nowadays, especially in films that go into theaters. That while Companion, its finale was fine, it didn't, you think the bad guys won, you find out the tech guys go, oh, there's a camera, we're going to look at all the footage, Jack Quaid is paranoid, so he wants to figure out how to stop it. She gets, with the help of the guy who isn't quite dead, helps her get back on her 2 feet, gets a nice revenge on Jack Quaid. But The Substance, just the way, the big show and just all the blood all on the crowd, it's just fucking insane. And then just the visuals and the ideas and the creativity of how it's just a face left crawling to the Hollywood star. I mean, yeah, I can see what you mean by, in a way, the film is depressing, because, especially if you're like me, you like Demi Moore. But here's the thing, if you're going to do that, you have to do it well, and this does that well. For example, I'm not a fan of nihilistic endings. It's just not my cup of tea. But John Carpenter does that well in films like The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. and The Mouth of Madness. Some of those are pretty nihilistic endings, but John Carpenter does it well. Not everybody does it well. I thought that one, like The Fly, told a tragic story that sadly this was kind of an inevitability of where this was leading to, and I thought it was accomplished in a well-made, fairly well-written way. Companion, I thought, was a decent film. The Substance, I think, is a film that people are going to remember in the long run. Like Companion, I'm remembering little bits here and there, but The Substance, I'm vividly remembering the images, the visuals of being torn out of Demi Moore's body, the way the body's sewed up, the way the younger is like overtaking stuff and screwing up Demi Moore's looks more and more. How she has the ability, she has the chance to stop it, but she can't quite do it. And I think The Substance just made more of an impact. More of an oh shit type of reaction. And Companion was fine. It was fine. The first chunk of it, trying to be sort of a romantic movie. The gay couple were there. The one felt like a little bit stereotypical with how limp-wristed. Oh my God, how's it going? Let me God. But I mean, there was still some fun to be had. I still liked it. But I just think The Substance are just much better direction, more creative camera work, editing, much more of a visual feast. Felt like a bigger movie in a way. I mean, technically you just say it wasn't bigger, but it felt that way. And I think it has much more of the memorable, epic ending compared to Companion. With the whole, even though I said spoilers, I'm still trying to be vague for those who haven't seen it. If you know, you know. So again, I would pick The Substance over Companion. So agree to disagree, Walker. I don't think Companion is better. I don't think it's better than The Fly by Cronenberg. The Fly, to me, that's a classic. Gina Davis, Jeff Goldblum, the love story they have is very sweet. Makes sense because they were an item at the time, so you feel and see their camaraderie. The effects are great. The score, the whole breakdown of the body of Jeff Goldblum transforming slowly into Brundlefly, and the tragedy, just a lot of earnest emotion. And that's not to say there's no emotion Companion, there is, but I felt much more of a impactful emotion at both The Fly and The Substance. So, that's just my thought process on it. With that said, thanks for watching, take care, thanks once again to Walter for the request, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.